Zachary Davis was born on July 27, 1997, to Melanie and Chris Davis, and has a brother just a year older than him named Josh. The family lived in Tennessee, in the United States, in a middle-class neighborhood, and they have always been a close-knit family with no apparent problems. Melanie worked as a legal assistant, and in her free time she practiced many activities including triathlon, running, swimming, and cycling. There isn't much information about the boy's father, except for the fact that in the first half of the 2000s, he began to develop amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which is a rare, progressive neurodegenerative disease for which there is no known cure. British physicist Stephen Hawking was one of the best-known carriers of this disease. In Chris's case, the treatment had no effect, and he got worse until he died in 2007. The family was very shaken, but especially so was Zachary, who was 9 years old at the time, and began to go into a deep sadness with clear signs of depression. Melanie then decided to send the boy to psychiatric care, with Dr. Brandley Freedom responsible. In consultations, Zachary said he always heard voices in his head. For the doctor, the boy suffered not only from depression, but also from some form of mental disorder. But Melanie ended up not taking the boy to the consultations anymore. Her reasoning was never clear. All we know is that any progress that could have been made had been stopped. Throughout his teenage years, Zachary was known to be a troubled kid. He possessed some bizarre quirks and characteristics. Zachary wore the same jacket every day, avoided talking to his classmates, and when he was asked about anything, both by students and teachers, he almost always answered quietly, whispering in a dark tone. This trait he came to keep for the rest of his life. On August 10th, 2012, when Melanie was 46, Josh was 16, and Zachary 15, the family went to the cinema to watch a comedy movie. They got home around 9 p.m. and kept to their end-of-day routine, watching some more TV and then going to sleep. When everyone was already in their bed sleeping, Zachary got up, went to the garage, grabbed a sledgehammer, and went to his mother's room. Without making any noise to enter, the boy got close to Melanie and made almost 20 blows to her head with the sledgehammer. After that, he poured gasoline all over the house, lit it on fire, and left, locking the door and leaving his brother Josh inside. The house had a fire alarm, and as soon as the smoke was detected, Josh woke up. He ran to his brother's room, but he wasn't there, so he ran to his mother's room and unexpectedly came across that horrible scene. He didn't even try to put out the fire. He left the house desperate, screaming and crying, until he reached the neighbor's house to ask for help. With the little information Josh provided, the police already treated Zachary as a suspect and started looking for him. In just 5 hours, he was found almost 10 kilometers from home, walking with only a backpack. The police made a proclamation of arrest, and Zachary did not react. At the police station, he did not hesitate. He confessed to the crime and was surprised to learn that his brother had survived. Zachary's trial took place in 2014. At no time did Zachary deny committing the crime or show any remorse. The case became public knowledge as the initial hearings went on, and Zachary ended up granting an interview with Dr. Phil that ended up becoming very controversial, dividing the public's opinion regarding his sanity.
Did you kill your mother?
Yeah.
You killed your mother. And why did you kill her?
She wasn't taking care of my family.
Meaning you and your brother?
Yeah.
And so because she wasn't taking care of you and your family, you decided to kill her. Did you think about discussing it with her instead of killing her?
I didn't think it wouldn't do anything.
You thought it won't do any good to talk to her, so I'll just kill her. When did you decide to kill your mother?
I decided the day I did it.
Why kill her that night? Why not kill her a week earlier or a week later? Something made that night the night.
I had enough.
You had enough? Why that day?
I just thought it was a good time.
Did you stand there and look at her for a minute before you did it?
Yeah.
Did you say goodbye to her in your mind?
No.
This interview and other private recordings were used as evidence against Zachary in the months following the trial. On the other hand, the psychiatrist and the boy's paternal grandmother testified in his favour, reporting an apparent mental disorder since he lost his father, and the psychiatrist presented reports of psychosis and schizophrenia. The purpose of these testimonies was to avoid the death penalty or life imprisonment in jail as a civilian who understood his actions. The defence asked for psychiatric hospitalisation. So in 2015, at the final hearing, after 3 hours of jury deliberation, Zachary Davis was found guilty of first-degree murder against his mother and attempted first-degree murder in connection with the arson with his brother at home. The sentence applied was life in prison, but in Tennessee, the maximum period of imprisonment is 60 years, with parole eligibility after 51 years of the sentence has been served. Due to the interview, this case divides public opinion due to the fact that he was sentenced as a civilian without a mental disorder. Many believe Zachary needs psychiatric care and that his stay in prison could further exacerbate his disorder. When the 51-year sentence is served, Zachary will be around 65 and able to apply for parole. Meanwhile, he remains in prison, where he receives occasional visits from his paternal grandmother. And what about you? What do you think of the treatment given to the accused? Leave your opinion in the comments below.